Hello everyone and welcome to today's video on what is Dutch National Flag Algorithm. Do you know friends, it is also known as a three-way partitioning algorithm, which is a very popular algorithm in the computer science domain due to its elegant and efficient solution to the problem of sorting with three distinct values in a single pass and with constant space complexity. It gained popularity because of its practical applications in scenarios where data needs to be categorized or sorted into three partitions. The Dutch national flag problem mirrors real-world situations where items needed to be categorized or grouped based on different attributes or values. Now before we move on and learn more about what is Dutch national flag algorithm, I request you guys that do not forget to hit the subscribe button and click the bell icon. So we are going to start our session with an introduction to what is Dutch national flag problem. Then we will move on to three-way partitioning algorithm, and at the end we are going to conclude our session with a hands-on of the same in Java. So guys, let's start with what is Dutch national flag problem. The Dutch national flag problem is also known as the three-way partitioning problem. It is a computer science problem that deals with sorting of an array of elements that have multiple distinct values. This problem was introduced by W. Dijkstra, a prominent computer scientist from the Netherlands. The problem statement is as follows. Given an array of elements, each element can have one of the three distinct values commonly denoted as to 0, 1 and 2. And the task is to sort all the arrays in such a way that all the elements with 0 should come first, followed by all the elements with value 1, then all the elements with the value 2. Essentially, the goal is to partition the array into three sections, with elements of each value grouped together. The challenge of Dutch national flag problem comes from the requirement to solve it in a single pass through the array with a constant space complexity, which means that without using any additional arrays or data structure. The algorithm must rearrange the elements in place. So that's why Dutch national flag problem becomes an interesting one. Now, here is a high-level overview of thinking how you can solve this problem. So suppose guys, we have an array A, okay, and initially A has the elements something like this. You have 0, 1, 2, 0, 1, 2. So your output should be something like this, where all your zeros should come first, then all your ones, then the remaining twos. So this is what we are expecting from this array. So guys, here is a high-level overview of the three-way partitioning algorithm which is going to solve this problem. The first step should be guys that you should initialize three pointers. That should be low, mid and high. Okay. 3 pointers should be initialized in the first steps. Now the second step should be initialize low and mid pointers to the beginning of the array and high pointer to the end of the array. So the low and the mid should go to initial way or the beginning of the array, and high should be allocated at the end of the array. The third step would be iterate through the array, okay, until your mid is less than or equal to high. If the element is at mid 0, then what you have to do is to swap it with the element at low and increment both low and mid pointers. If the element at mid is 1, then move the pointer to the next element. If the element at mid is 2, then swap it with the element at high and decrement the high pointer. Then fourth step would be continue this process until the mid surpasses. So what I said guys was, so guys, there are three scenarios in this case. The first one is if the element at mid is 0, so E corresponds to 0, then what you have to do, you have to swap it with element at low and increment your low and mid. The second step is if the element at mid, okay, is at you can say 1, then what you have to do, you have to move the pointer, okay, you have to move this mid pointer to the next element. If at element at mid is at 2, okay, then what you have to do, you have to swap it with element at the high and then decrement it, okay. Fourth step would be continue this process, and at the end of this all process, at the end of this algorithm, the array will be sorted as per as Dutch national flag problem. So this is what somewhere we can say we talked about the algorithm, which is a three-way partitioning algorithm, which is going to solve our problem. So guys, you can consider something like this. Suppose given you have n balls of color red, white or blue arranged in a line in a random order. Now all you have to do is arrange all the balls such that balls with the same colors are adjacent with the order of the balls. And the order of the ball you can say like red, white and blue are the order where red comes first, then white and then blue. So in this way we are trying to solve the problem, and this problem was proposed by a Dijkstra, as you have read about Dijkstra algorithm. He is the same scientist who proposed this algorithm. Now let's see how we can approach this problem. So guys, let me show you an illustration for the same. So this is our algorithm. So suppose this is our array. So guys, in the first step, what you have to do, you have to put array mid equals 0. Then you have to swap array low and array mid. Then you have to increment the low with low plus 1 and then mid plus 1. So your array would become something like this, where your 0 would be here, low and mid would be at 1, and at the last index 2 would be the high. At this step 2 guys, what we have to do, we have to put array mid equals to 1. Then I will increment mid equals to mid plus 1. And this is our array 0, 1, 2, 0, 0, 1, 2. And this will be the scenario where low will be at 1, mid will be at 2, and still high will be at the last index. The step 3 would be guys something like this. Now I put array mid equals to 2. Now what I want to do, I want to swap array mid and array high. So high equals to high minus 1. So I'm decrementing this. And here will be our pointers. So at the 1 would be low, 2 would be the mid, and here high had been decremented by 1. So it will be at 1 position. Now what is the step 4 guys? I'm putting array mid equals to 2. So I'm swapping after this array mid and array high, and still I'm decrementing it. So finally this becomes low at 1, mid at 1 and high at 0. If I talk about step 5 guys, you have to put array mid equals to 1, and then I will put mid equals to mid plus 1, and finally this will become low and this will be mid and this will be high. At the final step, what we have to do, we have to put array mid equals to 0. Then we will swap array low and array mid. Then we will increment low and increment mid by 1. So finally, if we see the diagram, we will find that our one of the low pointer is at 1, high is at 1 and mid is at 2. And everything is sorted in the way which we wanted. So this algorithm perfectly works. Now let me show you the hands-on demonstration of the same in Java. So guys, as far as the algorithm, here I have created a program. So for sorting the input array, the array is assumed to have the values 0, 1 and 2. So I've created a function static void sort, okay, and in this I have taken arguments as array and size of the array. I have initialized low with 0, high with array size minus 1, mid is equals to 0 and temporary variable equals to 0. Then I will iterate till all the elements are sorted. So I give this condition while mid is less than or equal to high, switch a mid, where I'm going to use switch and case statements. So case 0 would be temp equals to a of low, and a of low equals to a of mid, and a of mid equals to temp. And finally, I'm incrementing low and mid by 1. I'm breaking this case. Now, if it as the case 1, so mid plus plus, then I'm breaking it. Our case 2 was temp equals to a mid changes to a high, and a high changes to temp, and finally we are decrementing high and we are breaking this statement. Finally, we are providing the utility function to print all the array. So static void print array, we took the array size, okay, and the array. Here I am iterating through the for loop where int I equals to 0, I should be less than array size and I plus plus. Then I'm printing it out our array I, okay, each elements of that array, and finally I'm just giving an empty strings printout. Then finally we have our driver function, the main function. Here I have given our array as 0, 1, 1, 2, 2, 2, 1, 2, 0, 0, 0, 1, and the size of this array is given by array dot length. Now finally I will call our method sort. Okay, and I will pass this array and the size of the array, and I will print the array and the size of the array. Now let's run this program. Now we can see, guys, that all the elements in this array are sorted in the ascending order. So finally, we have solved the Dutch national flag problem. That was all for today's session, guys. I hope so you would have enjoyed our today's video on Dutch national flag problem.
Just a quick info, guys. Intellipaat offers full stack web developer course in collaboration with E&ICT Academy IIT Guwahati. Through this course, you can learn everything from front-end web development to back-end web development from esteemed IIT Guwahati faculties and industry experts. With this course, we have already helped thousands of professionals in successful career transition. You can check out their testimonials on our Achievers channel, whose link is given in the description below. Without a doubt, this course can set your career to new heights. So visit the course page link given below in the description and take a first step towards career growth in the field of web development.